Hey everyone, welcome back to Frameworks Podcast. Today's conversation is one that hits close to home for a lot of leaders out there, but not just leaders. We're talking about creatives and also business owners, because we're going to be talking about the kind of burnout that doesn't shout all of the time. Many times it is that small, faint whisper. We all know because we've all gone through it at least one moment in our lives. I'm talking about what many people see as what maybe kind of a taboo, but I think this is something important subject that we have to talk about, because if it drains your clarity and it drains your energy, then it's going to affect at the very end, probably not just yourself, but many customers and people around you. Today, I have a very special guest with me, Sara. And she is the founder of Sites by Sara. Sara is not just an entrepreneur. She has over 2 decades of experience.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
A lot of experience there in web design, in branding, in digital marketing. So she's built a reputation for creating effective websites and very beautiful websites. I said effective first because sometimes we only look at the beautiful part of it, but effective and beautiful websites, all while coaching business owners and helping them show up online with authenticity and strategy. So let's jump in, Sara. I'm so happy that we could jump on the call today. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much for the invitation. I'm happy to be here.
Today, we're talking about burnout, how to overcome this. We've all faced these seasons, Sara, in our lives where burnout, it creeps in quietly, right?
It does it first. Yeah,
Yep.
it's almost like you're not really sure. Just suddenly there's a little bit of heaviness and a little bit more heaviness that starts to mount.
Yeah. And I tell you, once that curtain pulls back and when you really have to be honest with yourself, I believe that's where real growth happens. And so let's jump into this. I have some questions and I want to pick your brain a little bit because, hey, 2 decades of experience. Can you please tell us, how did it get started and what are you doing today? And then we'll jump into some of the questions that I have for you. So give me, how did it all start? How did you get into this crazy world of doing web design, development, business strategy, and branding?
Yeah, so thank you for asking. So I actually started several years ago when I finished college. I got my first real job as a technical writer, and then I moved on to an instructional designer.
Wow.
And then my last full-time position was as an internet news producer, putting stories online. And so I'd had the familiarity with web development and design. In fact, my degree is in mass comm, but I had an emphasis in like fine arts and digital media. So I had taken a number of courses. I had self-taught myself Dreamweaver at the time. That allows you to create and set up websites fairly easily, and had been doing this on the side as a sort of a side hustle, as most of us do, to find our passion. And it just so happened that in 2007, I ended up getting pregnant with our first child. And I was, as I mentioned, putting news stories online, which if you can imagine, if it bleeds, it leads. So all of the lead stories, homicide, car accidents, and just horrific things. So I just figured this isn't really great for my spirit. And I imagine it may have an impact on my unborn child. And just came home one afternoon after feeling burned out at that position. And spoke with my husband about it and we decided to go ahead and take that leap of faith. And so I did that and quit my full-time stable 401k benefits, all the things that I'd thought that I'd wanted. And I realized I had that insatiable itch, which is entrepreneurship. And either you've got it or you don't. It's like the bug, I think. So it was calling to me. I felt like I wanted more autonomy in my day-to-day affairs and to be more selective about which clients I bring on or which companies I involve myself with. So it does give me that opportunity with opening my own company. So it started out at my kitchen table with a big box computer and a dial-up internet connection. We might have been a little faster, but we certainly were not fiber. But yeah, it's on my kitchen table and just with emails back and forth and had to put myself out there. It just like fit naturally, Sites by Sara. It's been an interesting evolution over the years where now that we have reached a level of success and visibility online, my team is constantly saying, Sara, we need to see more of you. Get on some podcasts.
Come on, let's go. Get Sara online.
I'm branding myself here. Thank you so much. Yeah, Sara holding the laptop. But yeah, no, it's been an incredible journey. That's how it started. It's progressed over the years. It's grown and then shrunk down a little bit between pregnancies. And I
Mhm.
like that flexibility. And that was one of the key things that I really wanted in, going into business for myself. Once the kids reached a certain age and it was like, okay, are we really doing this? That momentum started to build and it just became very exciting and started bringing on more people. And now we have a team of 19.
Wow.
And yeah.
Let's go into that because you're talking about present day. You started this journey as the founder. You started as that one person wearing all the hats, and now you're at this place. You're seasoned in business. You've grown. You see about 19 people on your team. Now that you have this team, has there been moments where you have faced potential burnout, even having this type of structure of a company now? Because you have a lot more responsibilities. You're more in the seat of visionary. You're running it. You're running the processes, and you're helping the people and helping them grow. Has there been moments now where you felt like, okay, I'm reaching that burnout point that I had back then? Is there something that you can share with us where maybe that happened so we could peel back in that conversation?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And it is one of those things that a lot of business owners are not comfortable speaking about.
That's why I'm
Just,
asking you.
if they think I'm burned out, then I'm not going to do a good job. And like, it's one of those things that it's really not discussed. But to be honest, it's such a gift to recognize when my spirit's flagging,
Come on.
when things
Come
are
on.
feeling heavy, when the things that are arriving in my inbox are creating stress and tension that I don't feel capable to address like adequately and with enough of a response that's going to satisfy my client. And so there's these things where there's that idea that the customer is always right. And then there's also that idea that, but I know what I'm doing. And I wish that they would defer to me and say, you're the expert. I get these notices in the mail. Hey, your SAM registration's about to expire. Hey, you need to do this. You need to file that. Where's your workers' comp paperwork? And all of these kinds of things that it does feel like as a business owner, I have responsibility for making sure that stuff stays current.
Yeah.
And it just dumps on into my inbox and onto my desk. And so the pressure does mount. Right now, I'm feeling very passionate and excited about what we're doing at Sites by Sara. I have the most beautiful team. They're incredible. They really care about what they're doing. They really want to understand the customer and get into the client mindset and their respective audiences. And so it's awesome because they are like outperforming me. It's incredible because they're really getting things moving and getting me excited about it. Certainly there have been lulls. And I feel like it's very natural for there to be ups and downs. It's like the ebbs and flows of the ocean, the seashore. We land a great client we're really excited about. We're seeing their return on investment just skyrocket. It's very encouraging. And then there's other times where the experience is very challenging. You do end up with some difficult clients and some of those challenging things. How do we continue to meet them and serve them in the best way? But there are some people I think that, I don't know, they're maybe not going to be satisfied no matter what you do. And so I've learned to personalize that. I know how good our team is. I know how much we care. And that time when things feel tense, difficult, or heavy, that's actually an invitation to go inward. So,
I love it. Self-reflection is so powerful. And actually, that is something that I wanted to ask you because let's just imagine here, you and I, we're talking here, and there's someone that's watching this right now. And let's just imagine that this person, they just got started in business. Okay. They're just launching with their business. Now they're hiring their first person. Okay. So I know you and I know exactly how that feels. The very first hire that you have, you're like, wow, I have officially made it. Like I've made it. Now I have a person working with me. But then everything is changing. So let's just imagine that we have someone right there that's watching this right now, just getting started in business. Now they have their first hire person and they're starting to feel the kind of that inward nudge, like you were talking about of, you know what, something's off here. My leadership it's weighing. I'm being a little bit more maybe aggressive. Maybe I'm being a little bit more triggered in some area. Maybe my decisions are shifting. What would you say to somebody that just getting started in business and they're already starting to feel that? You said the inner peace on top of that, or something deeper that you can go into like that.
Yeah, I would just say if you're crystal clear that this is your passion and this is what you want to be doing, that you were brought on the planet to do, it's worth the extra work to really look at what's not working, to
Come on.
really look at what's painful or what realizations are pointed out and take it to heart. I feel that I'm still very much a work in progress. I need to modify my leadership when I'm like, wow, I didn't. So recently, this is so silly, but I would type something out and then I'd put in all caps because I'm emphasizing this, like this. And then I'll go a little further and then this, because I'm trying to correlate these two different ideas. But the feedback I got from my millennial and younger generations is, yeah,
Come on, man.
we can't use all caps, like
A little bit.
um,
I'm screaming over here.
yeah, so I watch myself because I still do it. It's a habitual thing. I've been working with myself for so many years that when I would take notes for myself, I would do it in these certain ways, or I'd underline things, whether it's on paper or on the computer, and because that just solidifies ideas. But what I've learned as a leader is that no, so I'll catch myself saying by Tuesday in all caps, because it's the Thursday prior. So just letting them know Tuesday is my expectation. Like unreasonable, but I've gone back and I watch myself delete, and then appropriate sentence case capitalization if necessary. But yeah, no, my leadership style, definitely there's room for improvement there. I'm grateful to be teachable. I always want to stay green. I don't want to become such a stiff way that I'm that stick that's just going to snap into two. I want to stay flexible and stay growing, and most importantly, inspire and empower those that are on the team with me. That gives me the most juice and jazz and excitement of anything, is watching their personal and professional development.
So good.
It's a real honor. For sure.
I would say definitely what you just said it resonates with me, of really setting these rhythms and these boundaries is so essential when you're starting a new business. Because if you don't set those, I'll say it this way, if you're not a master of your time, then time will become your master, right? Because it's inevitable. If you don't define it, then it will define you, right? That logic. And it's the same thing with rhythms and guidelines, especially when you're starting a business. If you don't set healthy rhythms and boundaries and guidelines, those things will actually be the very things that could actually cause the burnout in the first place. Setting these in the early stages of business and setting these guidelines is going to help navigate you in the right direction. Because in the beginning phases of business, it's really probably the best time to do that, right? And it's not a negative thing. Or some people even say, well, I'm not big enough. Like, why am I already setting these boundaries and rhythms for myself? Or why do I need to learn to do these things differently? And in the long run, it will be that actually could potentially be the very thing that buries you if you don't set those things in place. So start now. Just like you said, these things you need to learn right now to identify that inner voice. Because that inner voice, man, don't go against that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the other day.
No, those intuitive hits are intentional, and it is absolutely necessary to listen to them.
I'm so sorry. I was in my zone and then I saw you.
It'll come back.
But this is it's so interesting that you say, because I literally just got off a phone call with our team today. And I was like, look, guys, here's the thing. We need to be, I love what you said, like always stay green. And I was like, I just was literally saying very similar thing to that. And I was like, look, guys, we can never stop adapting and evolving to the ever-changing rhythm of what's going on here in our generation, specifically the digital landscape. And I said, we can't get so gridlocked in these systems and those are important, right? Systems and processes, but don't let those very things be the paralyzing factor for innovation and maybe even discovering something new. Setting rhythms and boundaries is going to help you from burning out. Pushing the envelope of innovation in a healthy way is going to help you get from burning out, because you're just doing the same thing over and over again that's not even working and it's just causing stress.
That thought I had earlier about boundaries and rhythms is it's so much easier to develop a good habit than it is to unlearn those.
Oh, you watch so good.
Because those neural pathways, they are deep, they run deep. And it's beautiful and very encouraging to learn that the brain does have the ability to continue to rewire pathways, and we can change our mindset through repetitive, intentional desire to do things differently.
For sure.
Yeah. And but man, for me, it's like, I know that I am going to be setting myself up for success if I wake up before the sun comes up.
Come on, girl.
And it's not hard to do. in Salt
Same
Lake,
thing
at
here.
least half of the year. It's not hard to do because it stays dark and it stays cold in those winter months till pretty late in the morning. But it's actually the summertime that brings that early morning light. And my eyes pop open and I think, oh, but don't I want to go back to sleep? And then I think, oh, but I could do this, I could do
There you
that. And
go.
so, what's really been profound and helpful in preventing me from burning out has been a regimen of exercise. I like to hit like
Yeah.
a 6 a.m. hot yoga, or maybe I'll do a boxing class or various kinds of like weight training or something just to get the body moving. And
Yeah.
if I don't have an hour to set aside for that in a class, then I can just do some simple things at home just to move my body, just
So
to,
good.
and to just give thanks. Wow, I'm really blessed. I'm really grateful that I have these facilities, these faculties, that I can wake up and stretch and move. And I have a lot of thanks to give for that because that allows me to go through my day with a lot of autonomy and I get to make decisions. And so while there's importance to having some sort of physical exercise coupled with gratitude and even a spiritual practice, if you will, like all of that stuff is really essential to help me to face the day with a new zest in my eyes, especially after it's been a couple of days that have been really hard. Sometimes I'll have an entire week that's been really tough. And so then I'll take some time to really reflect on that and say, okay, what is the lesson in this? Rather than, why are you doing this to me? It's okay, this is happening and you are doing this for me to help me evolve, to help me move forward to that next level.
That's so good.
Help
And
me
I was
identify those traps and then sidestep them. Finally, my neural pathways will walk down the same road
right.
16 times and fall right into that manhole.
Never-
And then it's okay, wait a minute. This hurts enough that, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I could step to the left or I could step to the right,
So good.
move around. And then it's really exciting when that happens. But then lo and behold, you turn the corner and there's another challenge. But that's okay because as
Yep.
long as we can see that we are leveling up with,
Come on.
even with my team, when certain things happen, I get that mistakes happen. And what can we learn from this? What
Yes.
system should we put in place? How can we prevent this from happening again? Is there a certain level of QA that needs to be instituted? Do we need to bring on another team member to help support with this or that or the other? They are genuinely opportunities. It doesn't feel like it in the moment. But yeah, especially for those just starting out, if you can take some time to really get quiet and take a few deep breaths and really just seek inspiration and guidance and ask yourself, what is it that I want? How do I
That's
want
so
my day
good.
to unfold? What do
So
I
good.
like? Should I, and if you get an intuitive thought or inspiration to, you know what, I'm just going to slip on my shoes and take a quick walk around the block, open my eyes, reach out to the sun and breathe in the clear air and give thanks. That sets me up for a much smoother day where I'm in the flow versus the alarm blaring and me rolling out of bed and just checking my phone. That's a real trap right there.
It
Immediately
is.
checking the phone is just like inviting 25 people into your room where you're half awake.
That's
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot that can be done. And burnout it's something where it does feel subtle and it just starts to work on you. And I think once you become part of a team, you can see it in others and say, oh, do you need a break? Is there something I can take off your plate? Like, how can I
so
support
good.
you? And the thing about it is, if this is your passion, no matter how burnt out, frustrated, upset, you're ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I've had
Yep.
enough this time. I really mean it. If we can just take a beat, go out, have some fun, eat a good meal, get a great night's rest, show yourself some grace and some gentleness, then it's like you can meet the new day and recognize that, oh, there's still some embers there.
So good. That's
There's
so
still
good.
some of those embers there. And I thought the flame was completely out. And all we have to do is be willing to fan those flames, lean on each other. Because I may not have the energy to fan the flames. I may be like, I'm done, guys. I can't. And
Yep.
my team is there to put their arm around me and say, okay, you've led for so long. Let us carry you a little bit. There is such a trust that comes forth and I'm blown away every day how my team shows up, the quality of their care and their emails. And they're mentioning things to clients like, oh, and be sure if you don't recognize the sender, don't click on any attachments, don't click on any links.
Invite the Trojans.
Like that's like all the client said is what is this about? All they had to say is, oh, it's spam, don't worry about it. But my team says it's most likely phishing. If you look at the email address, you notice it doesn't match the brand that they're saying they are, the company they say they are. And please, whatever, you don't click links or download attachments from an unknown source. Like they just do that. And I'm like, and I screen grab them because I'm so impressed. And I'll tell you one thing that has been so awesome for us that we rolled out in the last year is hashtag CBA.
Okay.
Caught being awesome.
I love it.
So we're in ClickLab. We've got full team chats and respective chats and tasks. Everyone's in there. Everyone's got a seat in there. Almost on the daily, I'll see somebody do a hashtag caught being awesome call out to Angela for just masterfully handling this skill. It really does help to raise the energy and build rapport.
You know, as you're saying these different things, you're bringing us through this journey. I don't think you even realize it, but I'm reminded of three things, and I just to encompass, or I would say to bring all of this wonderful knowledge that you possess, that you have as an entrepreneur. The first one is you have to be very conscious, right? You have to be very conscious of what's going on, or have conviction, right? I would say conviction would be a better thing, is having a conviction of understanding who you are, what you've been called for. Then from the conviction, it brings you to be able to really correct that. So that's that second C of correcting the very things that you have become conscious or that you've had conviction on. And then the third thing that you said about even with the group, the CBA, is that third one is cultivation. And I'm reminded of these things: conviction, correction, and cultivation. Those are the three things that will really help you from getting burnt out, because you modeled that. Even like, for example, you said you have all of these tasks, the company is growing, things are moving forward. But one thing that you haven't lost is cultivating relationships within your work, within your company. And that cultivation goes so long. Like that hashtag.
Yeah.
And I was talking to our team about this. Those small things go so far that we have no idea those seeds as we cultivate them. And so if you guys are watching this, guys, take what she just said, take notes of everything that Sara just said, and just try it out. Like it may not be exactly maybe what you're like, it doesn't even really matter what niche or what market you're in, but these are principles that you can't just read in a book. This comes from someone who's walked this out. Take notes on this, guys. This is wisdom here that Sara's sharing, not from a book, but from experience.
Yes.
Cultivation is going to be a game changer for your company.
Absolutely. And the more we invest in our people, the better we all are for that.
Hands down. Wonderful. I think we need to have you on here again, because I'm going to get some other topics.
Yeah.
We're talking about burnout, but I think this is stemming some other topics that we need to talk about. If you're cool with it, I'm going to invite you again on the show. All right.
Please do. Thank you so much.
Oh, Sara, thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you for being vulnerable. And I know vulnerability is sometimes hard, like you said, in the workplace. We sometimes want to look really strong for everybody. It's not necessarily strong, but maybe looking like we got it all together. But that's the thing about business. Like, we don't always have it all together. There's going to be moments of weakness. There's going to be moments of strength. There's going to be moments of failure. There's going to be moments of success. But the most important thing, and I love what you said, is we have to learn, and we can't stop. We always have to wake up, take that stretch, I work out early in the morning too, take out that workout, do what you got to, get up before the sun's up and move forward. Don't stop moving.
Right. Do the right thing, even when you don't feel like it, and don't do the wrong thing, even though you feel like it.
Woo!
We got to act through it.
Thank you for your words of wisdom. I'm honored to be having this conversation with you today.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Appreciate you.
For all of the people that are watching this today, you've heard words of wisdom. Hands down, this is wisdom speaking. And if you're having difficulty understanding what wisdom is, take these words that Sara has talked about. This is what's going to really help you not just grow as a company, but really maintain a healthy and balanced life, which ultimately affects the people you walk with. You don't need to be running on fumes anymore if you are. I would really encourage you guys, as always, we're here with Frameworks Podcast. is to really help people understand and get to see other companies out there. So check out what Sarah's doing. She does web design, she does marketing. You do coaching and consulting as well? Is that something that you do?
I do that, yes.
If you're not doing it, you need to start doing that. I would
Yeah,
love to be part of that.
Yeah.
So check out what she's doing, Sites by Sara. How can people reach out to you? Let's do that first before.
Sure. Website is probably the best way. So Sites by Sara, SARA.com is the website, and email to hello@sitesbysara.com is always good. Just mention Ryan Adams in the subject line so I know it's like legit and I'll read it. It'll get my attention. Absolutely.
More wisdom.
Yeah, just any of the socials, Sites by Sara and LinkedIn. We do have a company page, and my personal page is /in/Sara Lambrinos.
Thank you so much again, Sara, for your words of wisdom. You've encouraged me. I'm leaving this conversation encouraged. And I want everyone that's watching to understand that these kinds of conversations are doing our best to not make them shallow conversations or just 3 steps of how to do this and 2 steps how. Those are cool. I love structured things like that. But having these honest conversations are meant for your good. And if you've been encouraged by this conversation, we just encourage you that are watching this, stay tuned. We have more episodes that are coming. And hopefully maybe we can even have Sara be on this call again. I got a few other topics that I'd like to pick your brain about. But guys, if you want to grow in leadership, if you want to even recover from burnout, if you want to continue to build these frameworks that outlast you, which really builds legacy, we'd love for you just to continue being part of this journey. This is a journey. Sara, one more time, thank you so much. You're incredible, and all the best of luck, blessings to your business and to everything that you're doing.
All right. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much.
Guys, until the next episode, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.